All right, welcome everybody. It is a brand new week. It's a beautiful new week. And the cards have been speaking to me. I picked up my deck. At the bottom of the deck is Page of Swords. So I see communication could be something that is a focus this coming week for us. Mercury is going direct on the 18th, and then we go into a shadow phase. While I do feel things are going to get lighter, this is not a time to be having super heavy conversations or engaging in conversations in a very heavy way. Flow, get lighthearted, be a little bit, jovial about conversations that are happening, and I think that will be the key with this Page of Swords energy, because it's also a page. It's a young energy at the same time too. So tap into an inner child, a fun, lighthearted, childlike spirit, and I think we can, have a lot of success. But the card that keeps popping out is the Fool. My deck fell on the ground. The Fool was the one coming up. I was shuffling. The Fool shot out. I was putting the deck away over there when I was doing a cleanse this morning. The Fool came out again. So a brand new cycle, a brand new opportunity is here. But really, the choice to embark on this new cycle and the choice to take on these new opportunities is yours. This new opportunity is just not going to come to you and do everything it needs to if you don't make the choice to take a leap towards it. This new cycle isn't just going to open up this beautiful energy vortex above you that's just going to follow you around for the next 10 years. Absolutely not. You have to choose to use that energy wisely. And that is going to require you to take a leap of faith. A leap in a direction where you might not get all the answers right away. A leap into the unknown. A leap towards an area that might not give you all the results that you want right away because your ego wants instant gratification. But this leap that you're required to take is going to be one of faith and trust. But it will serve you well, because what fell out with it for me was the Ten of Cups. So if you've been avoiding making a decision, if you've been hesitant about making a decision, maybe this is the decision to communicate something. That's what's coming to me right now. Maybe this is the decision about sharing a truth, sharing your authentic self, communicating something important to someone. Whether this is taking a leap of faith towards your authentic self and now starting to communicate more honestly with yourself in a very transparent fashion about who you are. That's what this leap of faith is going to be about. So communication with self and with others towards our happiness. This might seem like you're taking a risk, but your ego is going to tell you that you're taking a risk. But really, what Spirit is saying is you're taking a leap in the right direction. So whatever you've been avoiding, it's time to do it. Whatever you're not communicating or have been too hesitant to communicate, it's time to speak up. That truth you've been avoiding about yourself, it's time to embrace it. Happiness, true emotional fulfillment, happiness, the wonderful love story, the life you're looking forward to, everything is on the other side of that leap of faith. This might not greet you as soon as you take that leap of faith, because remember, when you're jumping off a damn cliff, you're in the air, you're going all the way down, and you think you're going to land and just be a spatter of humanity. But really, this is going to catch you. Spirit's going to just lift you up in a nice cloud. Your healing is going to come in like a nice cloud. Your ancestors, your guides, Spirit is just going to sprout a new pair of angel wings on you, and you're going to land safely in this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful life that you've always wanted for yourself, something you've dreamed about. The impossible is now possible with this energy, okay? Now, under this, so exciting, and then they fell on the ground. Under this was 4 cards that just spoke to my heart, okay? So, I got the Knight of Cups. I've got the 7 of Pentacles. Under the 7 of Pentacles was the Ace of Pentacles. Under the Ace of Pentacles was the 8 of Cups, okay? So we're backed by 2 water energies, and in the center is real world, 3D, grounded energy here. So first I'm going to come to these 2 cards here. So actually now I'm tying together all these stories because everything is making sense to me right now, and Spirit is giving me a message that the communication you're being asked to do, which is going to essentially take you towards that happy ending through a leap of faith, I'm being given an idea what this could be. I see that you have been working very hard on your life, your material world. Why? Because the things you see and feel and can understand is what makes sense to you, is what gives you comfort, okay? You've been working very, 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 very hard on that, okay? This could be work. This could be finances. This could be working on your healing in a very 3D way, But what Spirit is saying to you right now is that you cannot always rely on what you see, feel, and can understand logically. That is not all that's meant to be a part of your healing process. You're meant to trust. Because the things you trust and feel most often are not the things that can immediately give you these tangible results. So you may be working on a project, you may be working a lot on your finances, because the more you work, the more money you earn, then the bank account keeps going up. You can see it, gives you comfort, you know you're working in the right direction, okay? Working on a project, making sure the clients are happy, well, if the client has a smile on their face, done. I see it, I feel it, I can move on with it. But that feeling is related on a very material circumstance and a material validation. The leap of faith that you're being asked to take towards your happy ending here is emotions. This is something you've been feeling, something you want to feel, but you're giving so much weight to attaching those feelings to the things that you can see, the things that you can touch, that you're not fully embracing your healing journey here. That's what this week is asking you to do, is to have faith and trust that the deeper parts of yourself, the deep emotions that often bring up a lot of triggers and things that you don't want to deal with, are the feelings that are actually guiding you towards your true self, guiding you towards your true happiness. Acknowledge those. They may not be those feelings that can immediately give you instant gratification, but they're the seeds you need to plant and water and care for, so that you can eventually see those things materialize in your world. To give you a better example, you're focusing too much on planting the seed and seeing the plant grow right away. That's the kind of energy you want, because it makes you feel comfortable knowing that, hey, I'm gonna put this in here and I'm gonna work hard and I wanna be able to see it. And because I see it right away, I know that I'm working. But sometimes you have to put in that investment and you might not get what you want right away. You might have to keep working at it and try again. But there is so much growth. There is so much healing that is happening in that effort. And then what you want will be stable and will grow with prosperity and abundance and beauty and love, okay? That's the kind of faith you have to exercise, that the work you're being asked to do by Spirit is a work you've been avoiding for a very, very, very long time, okay? That could be being honest with yourself. That could be communicating. Right under this communication card is the devil, which tells me that there could be issues around sexual trauma, your sexual identity, your sexuality, toxicity, negative patterns that you've been really hard at work. You think that just by not having alcohol in the house, let's say, might stop you from drinking. But really, what's the emotional turmoil that you're facing that's forcing you to go towards a glass of wine to fulfill yourself? Okay? I'm seeing random sex, hookups, unconscious sex coming in here too. Why do you feel you have to go to that situation to feel good? Because you go in there thinking that, hey, I'm just going to go in there, feel good for a few moments, get a few jollies, here, wrong set of cards, get a few jollies in, and I'm going to feel better. But you are not feeling great after that, right? Because you haven't addressed the emotional root, the root cause of it. There's a whole plant theme happening here. You see roots, plants, seeds. You're planting new opportunities for yourself. But really, the leap of faith you're being asked to do is to now be honest with how you're speaking to yourself, to get right down to the root cause, to deal with the issues. I mentioned alcohol, I mentioned sex, so I'm thinking toxic patterns, addictions. Those were just examples that I had given. I'm also seeing issues of sexuality, sexual orientation. You could be running from yourself. What is the root cause on why you're running from yourself? Where have you faced an abandonment wound? Where may you have faced sexual trauma or a negative experience that has hurt you so deeply that now you're turning to other things in your external world to make you feel better, but it's not actually doing what it is that you want it to do. So the real work is being ignored here, okay? That leap of faith that's required is asking you to do a deep dive back into yourself. Now, when it comes to communicating with another, I think it's love. Perhaps somebody needs to communicate how they truly feel about somebody, or truly acknowledge what the connection with someone has done for them in a very beautiful way. I see where there has been silence, there will now be communication. I'm getting a big download here that the person who's been silent felt that silence was the best way to go. That silence was the best way to maintain neutrality. Silence was the best way to perhaps not admitting something, not acknowledging something was the best way to go about it. But I think that person who's remained silent is the one who's been hurting him or herself. Okay? So now the Spirit is saying take a leap of faith towards that truth, because when you speak your truth, you will free yourself. And when you free yourself, you'll be able to forgive yourself and you'll be able to take a leap of faith towards that happiness. I specifically, in a love context, I see if somebody's been holding back their emotions, they're coming in with their emotions, okay? But they're coming in small. They're not going to come in and be like, you've been the love of my life and I've adored every single step of yours. I want to kiss the ground you walk on. No, if you're waiting for that soap opera bullshit, it's not going to happen, okay? You're going to get maybe a friendly gesture. You're going to get some movement in your direction, text, email, something. But you will know intuitively, and that's the feeling you need to tap into, that, okay, this person is communicating what I think, but they're doing it in a way that makes them feel comfortable. So you see, this card, this leap of faith is not only required for that person who's communicating, but for the person on the other end of that communication. The person who's receiving that communication also needs to exercise a leap of faith. I saw 143 there, 10 minutes, 43 seconds, which means I love you. So, and then I saw 1044, 10 minutes and 44 seconds, which is a twin flame number. So this is love. This is very divine counterpart. But there's a leap of faith that's required on both sides. One person just needs to break the ice and take a leap of faith towards that communication. And the person receiving it needs to have faith and trust that everything is working as it needs to, and that that person really is saying what they know and feel intuitively is being said, okay? So don't be fooled by your 3D circumstance, okay? Very big energy there. Hope I made sense. I'll definitely be looking at my comments in case something was confusing. But then I saw the Knight of Cups and the Ace of Cups. So remember, we're working on this right now. We're being asked to exercise that leap of faith with these set of cards. This is where we're kind of stuck. It's still good energy. You're still moving forward, probably at a snail's pace. But hey, slow and steady wins the race, right? But now, on the other end of this experience, this 3D experience, is emotions. The emotions that you have not want to, that you didn't want to feel. Now, if you see here, the Knight of Cups is coming forward with an offer. I did mention an offer, something of communication coming soon. That person is making, this knight is making the cup offer in this direction. So this is telling me that the person who's getting ready to communicate specifically, that person has been working hard on their world, working hard on their healing, feeling good, maybe limited in their perspective on their healing right now, but that's because they're not as ascended as the person who's about to receive the message, but they're still working on it, okay? And they're now coming out of this sort of 3D element, and now they're understanding that, okay, now I need to take what it is I'm learning by doing this work, and now where's the emotional growth setting in? What have I realized? What have I learned about myself? How do I feel about myself? What is it that I need to express and communicate? Let me understand that deeper part of my emotion a bit better. That's the next phase in your journey. And I see a beautiful offer of love coming in because they're working in this direction. So this offer of love was always in the works, but they just needed to move through stage 1 here of this sort of 3D hard level. I understand, I need to see this kind of work happening sort of phase. And now they're coming into a very beautiful phase. So you see the person is now offering the cup in this direction. So this is telling you that we are making progression. You may feel like there's no progression being made because there could be some stagnancy and some sort of slow energy, but really it's all happening the way it's supposed to. This is a divinely guided process here. And there's a beautiful offer of love coming. I see for this person, this process right here in the center has been about offering self-love and words of affirmation to themselves. They've been working on their own self here, filling their own cup so they can enter a relationship context and give and take equally, can respect, can receive, and can allow. And now this cup will soon be offered to somebody else, okay? And that might be what I strongly feel is a communication coming in. But it's not going to be like, here's my cup of love, let's get married. It's not going to be that. It's going to be a step in the right direction. But again, think about, I want you to say this to yourself this entire week. Does this require a leap of faith? Where can I take a leap of faith? Okay? If you enter a moment of doubt, sit and say, is this doubt? Or am I really being logical about this? What is this doubt showing me? How can I make a leap of faith and trust and have more faith in myself in making this decision? Ask those questions to yourself. And I think you're going to get into your intuition and make the decision that's going to be the best for you. Okay? Beautiful energy here. It's all happening as it needs to. Understand also that communication can happen in many different forms. Don't just limit yourself to the 3D communications that we know about, right? See, that's that very stuck energy that it has to be a text. I saw 1443, 143 there. Again, I love you. That it has to be a text. It has to be a letter in the mail. Maybe that communication is coming through a song. Maybe that communication is coming through a third party. Maybe that communication is coming in your dream state. Be open and receive, okay?